Hi, this looks funny. Welcome. It's Delia. So glad that you've clicked on. So today we're going to talk a little bit about this amazing tool called "What Would It Take?" And I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and they gave me some insight about how this can be misconstrued. So, um, in the competitive world, meaning the regular world, which operates on competition. Competition is somebody is better than somebody else, or something is better than something else. And losers and winners and all that kind of thing. So, in like a sports situation, uh, which I confess I'm not familiar with, or in work, sometimes uh, they'll use what would it take as a way to get more out of you, like to extract more out of you. So this is an example of a thing called um, getting more through invalidation. And what would it take can be set up as like a challenge, a dare kind of an energy. Like, what would it take for you to get your shit together? Or what would it take for you to do something that I want you to do that you may or may not want to do, right? It has that dare energy, that competition energy, and push, pushing you kind of an energy. And we never respond well to that. Nobody does. Um, People who are successful in the competitive world may have learned ways to override themselves and to manipulate themselves and have results from this kind of a confrontation. So much so that they can be convinced that it works. Um, and then once they achieve whatever the impossible thing is to achieve, I'm thinking about there's a sport guy, um, an Olympian, somebody who won the Olympics for swimming, I think. And he's on TV now doing, um, I mean, sometimes I'll see commercials from him about therapy because when you are really good at the what would it take and the competitive edge and all that manipulation and competition, you get lost. You become a machine of accomplishments or doing or achieving in performance. So, performance takes a natural attribute that we have, which is to see what else we could do and bastardize it into seeing what else you can do. Like you can't do anything else. Again, the challenging thing. So it's not just my opinion that the competition thing doesn't work. It's well documented, and people have to recover from having that kind of programming. Um, and by programming, I mean convincing you that competing against you and agreeing that how you are right now is bad and wrong, and you have to achieve this next thing to be good. It's all a manipulative lie. And it's repeated over and over again in kind of every area of our lives: school, relationships, uh, even friendships are friendships can be very competitive, and uh, familial relationships, because it's just the mistaken idea that it's required in this, it's required to live. So, so that's the what would it take as a way to beat you up. And that's never how I use it. So now, the other way of what would it take is as an invitation, like a curiosity. Again, we have this natural, innate, before it was um, before somebody figured out how to use our nature against us, um, and who that is a different conversation. If you're not convinced that there are things in our society that are using your nature against you, then blow all this off. But if you are convinced that you have been that you find yourself using using your nature against yourself or self-sabotaging or that kind of thing, okay, then this part will be interesting. So what would it take is an invitation. It's like having that playful curiosity. Do you ever remember being a kid? And I mean, this is, back when childhood was free range, we would go down to the little creek, the little rivulet of water, and look for tadpoles and just kind of exploring, what lives down there, and being curious, and um, being out in nature, and discovering, a lot of discovering. Um, and that was play, and that was fun. So that's our nature. And when you are in that energy, it's it's open. So what would it take can be this real invitational energy of, wow, I wonder what it would take to be able to climb that tree. And then it's not a competition, it's a curiosity. And then you find all the ways that you can't climb that tree. And then eventually you find ways that you can climb that tree. For instance, or what would it take for you to make more money this month than you normally do? If you make it an adventure, all kinds of things can happen. See, once you're open and it's an adventure, it's an invitation. What would it take is an invitation. You're not the only one you're inviting to the party. So, what would it take to um, to make more money this month is like an invitation, not only to you but to the universe. Like, hey, universe, what would it take for us to uh, create more clients, create more money this month? And if you already have too much money to ever spend, then this will be boring to you. But I have yet to meet that person. So, what would it take to make more money this month is an invitation to you and to the universe. So it allows the universe to rearrange um, the circumstances, people, places, and things to bring you more clients or more money or more of whatever it is that you're asking for. But it's an invitation. So if you use what would it take to prove um, the universe is on your side, or to prove you can manifest, whenever there's proving energy, it's competition. And proving energy and defending for and against are all competitive. And they shut down possibilities and they shut down invitation. So if you're in the mindset of the universe has to prove to you that this could happen, whatever this is, then you're shutting down the possibilities. That's not an invitation. It's just decidedly not an invitation. And when you stay in the what would it take invitation, there's going to be that buoyancy and that curiosity and that playfulness. And that's how you open up your energies to cooperate with the universe. And as soon as you shut it down and make it a proving thing or a challenge like competition, then it's not going to work. And it will be heavy and uncomfortable. It may make you tired. It may make you cranky because the underlying premise of that kind of what would it take is whenever there's proving going on, the underlying premise is that how you are is not okay. And you're only going to be okay when you achieve or when you get or when you find or when such and such happens. So playfulness is a clue. When you're open, you're playful. It's a playful energy. And open is not doormat. Open is like curious, like, I wonder what it would take. And if you're wondering, for instance, maybe your health isn't what you want it to be. So you could say, I wonder what it would take for me to have whatever it is, for me to be whatever it is. And then again, this is the invitation. There's a funness to it and a buoyancy to a discovery, an adventure. What would it take? I don't know. Let's go find out. And then all kinds of things can happen. So there was a serious, um, British mountain climber kind of guy, like the first guy who did Everest or that mountain over there, some big mountain. And he wrote this thing, or it's attributed to him, about how if you're if you're set on something, if you're like, okay, this is my goal, my destination, my where I'm going, and you're unwavering in that, then what that does is it unleashes just all kinds of forces in the universe to rearrange and to bring you the people, places, and things to support you in this thing. And it's long and eloquent. And my short form is the universe only ever says yes. It's we who say yeah but and no and I can't and da 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 da. So when you're using what would it take, you can be an invitation, and it will be fun, and it will be light and bright and expansive. If it is not light and bright and expansive, you don't need to make yourself bad or wrong, because that's the water we swim in. That's what you're going to do a lot until you get the hang of it. You just go, oh, silly me. Nope, nope, nope. Didn't mean to be setting up a challenge or, to be invalidating in that way. And just go for a walk or hug a tree or something. And then choose the adventure of what would it take to create and generate, more and greater and fun and, whatever it is that you want to create and generate. Because then you're being an invitation not only to you, but energetically to the universe and to whatever it is that you're wanting. Because remember, everything that you desire desires you too. All right, so that's the little short form on what would it take. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.